Hey everyone, Andrew here, Melbourne Superman, and today, in honor of Christopher Reeve's birthday, I am going to be reacting to the first two Superman movies. So Superman the movie and Superman 2. So Superman 2, I'll be reacting to the theatrical cut, not the Donner cut, and it's going to be more of a reaction to some of my favorite moments. So without further ado, we're going to dive right into this. Here we go. So we have the opening, of course, the curtain open, and I must admit, you're right. Again, I'm trying to do a thing here. You shocked me. You actually just shocked me. So we've got the opening with the Action Comics, which is interesting because it's not the actual, the first Action costume. So I'm gonna try to turn this down a little bit. As a kid, I kind of never really appreciated this, but at the same time, the anticipation of knowing what was coming was really exciting. Now this is, of course, where it gets really exciting. We see Marlon Brando, of course, had top billing, followed by Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor. The Richard Donner film. We still haven't seen Christopher Reeve's name, which is interesting. Here we go. Still excites me, man. Just amazing. Superman. And that brilliant John Williams score, it's just, there's something to it, it just brings back a lot of awesome memories. And there, finally, Christopher Reeve, his name is on the screen now. And it's interesting, like, a lot of people probably don't really get excited by credits that take this long, but I think it's amazing. I love it. I love it. It's just perfect. To me, the best opening of any movie. I mean, I'm biased, I know, but there you go. This is always, to me, what I thought Krypton should look like. I know it's kind of not comic book accurate. I feel like Man of Steel probably had a more comic book accurate Krypton, but man, this scene. Obviously setting up for Superman 2. Marlon Brando as Jor-El here on Krypton. As he calls it. Nobody knows why. Just an overall cool scene. I love the setup for the villains in Superman 2. Of course, this really doesn't have anything to do with the events in this movie other than to introduce us to Jor-El and what he does on Krypton. As sort of, baby-proofing things go, I feel like this isn't the best bet, but that's fine. Very sharp. Great speech.
Even in the face of our death, the richness of our lives shall be yours. All that I have, all that I've done, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Kind of like the hope of every parent, I think.
You will carry me inside you. All the days of your life. You will make my strength your own. See my life through your eyes, as your life will be seen through mine. The Son becomes the Father, and the Father the Son.
There's that Jesus story, of course. There's that symbolism, which you can't ignore. As much as people think that that's easy and lazy, it's kind of like it's built into the Superman mythos.
Now you saw how we found it. Martha, Clark, Kent, are you listening to what I'm saying?
And little baby Superman just lifting a truck like nothing. Fun fact, we'll start talking a little bit about appearances that some of these actors have in future movies. So this, of course, is not the first or the only Superman film that this little baby actor will appear. He does play the little boy in Superman 3 who gets the pictures off of Superman in the beginning. Also, side note, for the longest time, I thought Martha's name, her middle name was Clark, Martha Clark Kent, and I was always like thinking to myself, what a silly middle name for a female, Clark? But then it wasn't until I don't know, probably like 5 years ago that I was like, oh, that's probably her maiden name. And Jeff East, of course. Here's the football kick. Boom. That's definitely going to land on somebody and kill them hard. But I love the scene where, you know, we've got some cameos. Well, not, again, first time we've got some cameos. You've got Noel Neill, who of course played Lois Lane in the George Reeves iteration. And you can't really see him. In the extended cut, you get a better view of him, but that's actually Kirk Alyn, who played Superman as well. And I just love the effects. Just like the practical effects of this movie is just so ahead of its time. Like, there was no CGI, there's nothing. It was just, how do we make this look real? It's crazy. And apparently the little girl on the train is meant to be Lois Lane. Again, which we see in the extended cut, but not in the theatrical release. Oh, man. Glenn Ford, the epitome to me of Jonathan Kent. I think he's so great as Jonathan Kent here. Just a wonderful actor. And here we go, Jeff East. Of course, his voice was dubbed by Christopher Reeve, which I don't know that he knew would happen at the moment, which is interesting when you think about David Prowse, whose voice was also dubbed when he played Darth Vader. Fun fact, little relationship, 6 degrees of separation. David Prowse helped train Christopher Reeve for Superman. And Jeff East's terrible clay nose. I was never clear on what that was when I was a kid. I was like, why is it discolored? But then later I found out, that's what that is. They gave him a more Christopher Reeve looking nose, I suppose. I just love the mentor that Jonathan Kent is. I really wish we'd seen more of it because he's just wonderful. He's wonderful. Just a good actor, man.
But I do know one thing. It's not to score touchdowns.
This scene. Just his reaction. Oh no. Like knowing what's happening. Far out, man. Of course, we have the Fortress of Solitude. So I always kind of wondered why they decided to make the power crystal and the knowledge crystal sort of green. Like, why not blue? Why not anything else? Because like green, you automatically, and you all know when I've done some poses with my green crystal, some of you have thought it was kryptonite, but it's not. It's his knowledge, it's his power crystal, but I don't know why they chose to make it green. Who knows? I love the way they do this. It just turns into crystal. And all of a sudden we see, for the first time, Superman. Like 40 minutes into the movie, we see Superman. But the movie's been able to hold you for that long. And just this flying scene, I always used to love it with the music. And that bank at the end, which apparently was an accident, I've heard. Like where he banks off to the side. I think it was not meant to be that way, but it just turned out so great. I love the dynamic in the Daily Planet. When we first see all of the characters like together for the first time, this is great. It kind of goes back to the old George Reeves show. Like just how they work off each other. And man alive, Christopher Reeve's Clark Kent. I think a lot of people have a problem with the fact that he played it up so much, but I think it really works because, like, I've never seen a version of Superman before or since that you actually believe that these are two different people. Like, I think that Christopher Reeve probably played the juxtaposition of Clark versus Superman more than anybody else, whereas you look at, say, even George Reeves, Dean Cain, you know, I'm not counting Brandon Routh because he kind of did it too, but George Reeves, Dean Cain, sort of even Henry Cavill, like you look at Clark and you look at Superman in those worlds and they basically act the same. There's not a lot of big difference there. So I love that. Of course, we have the mugging scene. Like the cojones of Clark to just like point this gun somewhere else. I mean, obviously he knows he's impervious, but...
Good for you, sir. That's the spirit. See, he doesn't really want to hurt anybody.
And then you wonder, is this Clark being that naive, or is it Superman just kind of playing along, or what?
What are you doing?
This guy's reaction. Catches the bullet. It's just, I love it. I love it. It's so simple. Just a slow motion shot. Any chance that he had with Lois Lane gone. When I was a kid, when he opened his hand to show the bullet, I always thought that was a Hershey kiss. So that's what, don't know why. So here we go. We're heading into the first reveal. So this is my favorite moment in any of the movies. Perfect. Well, maybe it's a tie with how he reveals himself in Superman 2. His change there. I feel like the S is different when he opens the shirt. It's a different S than what he actually shows up with. I gotta look into that. Maybe I'll talk to Cape Wonder and see if they can help me out. Best line in movie history. Give or take. Boom. And to all of you who say that the physics don't work, whatever. Like, to him, the helicopter, like, it doesn't matter how he grabs it. To him, it is probably like holding up paper. When you look at the comics and how much Superman can actually lift, like, that would be like me taking my headset and, well, it doesn't really count because that's a flexible thing. I don't know, taking something like this and holding it up this way, and because I don't have the center of gravity, you'd be telling me that the physics wouldn't work, but it's like nothing to me. Same thing with the helicopter, so back off the physics of Superman. Okay. Ah yes, the burglar on the skyscraper, who deserves points for doing what he's doing without a harness, by the way, like, pretty intense. I used to love that sound of the suction cups going on and off the windows. Great shot of the boots there. And the S, actually. You can see how it's stitched together. Also kind of low. Interesting, this scene where we see the guy doing work in his office, I'm pretty sure that's actually, that set is sideways. Yeah, I've heard that. So everything is like nailed down and sideways, so that must have been really uncomfortable to film. Here we go with Air Force One, also one of those awesome scenes. Like, I don't know what it is about, like, some of the quotes in this movie, but if somebody says to me, like, did you see that? I'm always like, fly. Don't look, just fly. I don't know why. Because that's, like, memorable. I think that this actor that says that, though, was dubbed. A lot of dubbing in this movie. Or maybe it was this guy. Maybe it was all of them. I don't know, because there was a lot of British actors on set because of Obviously, a lot of this was filmed at Pinewood Studios in England. Again, if you know which of these actors have been dubbed, comment down below, let me know. Also, if I saw that outside the plane, I'd be freaking out. But it's okay because it's red and blue. It'd be like the Twilight Zone. There's someone, something on the wing. Here we go.
Fly. Don't look, just fly. We got something. I ain't saying what it is. Just trust me.
No, how about you tell me what it is? Because I'm not trusting nothing. Of course, we had the flying scene after the interview, and I gotta say, the flying stuff in this movie is just so beautiful. Like, there's so many good things. Now, coming up to this part, I think Superman gets a little bit cocky, and he's all like, just go. Just like, I got you. Which, granted, the physics here doesn't work. I know her legs would flop down, but shut up. It's fine. I don't know, maybe they're going at supersonic speed. I don't know, but it doesn't look like it. But the scene always kind of makes me laugh because he's like, let me like get your hand with the least amount of hand possible. Oh, in this scene, you can actually see his legs are actually down, which is interesting. So that was a bit of a slip up on the camera angle. So long. And of course, we're going to head now into Can You Read My Mind, which was is actually meant to be sung, believe it or not, in the original cut. Thank God it wasn't. I don't know what Margot Kidder's voice was like, but I don't think it would have worked. As it stands, this scene, it's not one of my favorites. Can You Read My Mind? But I feel like we had to talk about it just because it is sort of out of place. And it's just kind of a strange, I don't know. It's a little bit too, shut up, motorcycles. It's a little bit too airy-fairy for me. Not corny, but it's just, I don't know. There's something about it. And I think, I mean, I appreciate it, but I think there are a lot of people today who wouldn't get this scene, and they'd be like, they probably hate it. They probably hate it. I don't hate it. I don't necessarily love it. I love the visuals of it rather than the voiceover. The scene, of course, when he flies off and he's on a rear projector so that they can do this next bit. So you can see that it's a projector. And then it's a one shot, and that bank, he banks off again. I love the banking. And then the one shot to her walking into her apartment where Clark is knocking on the door. It's brilliantly done. It's like it's just brilliantly done. Today, that would have been all CGI or not a one shot. And then the scene, I just love this scene. Like, I didn't get to the Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor scene, Valerie Perrine and Ned Beatty sooner, because I think this scene is just, to me, I love their interaction here. It's kind of, it's charming. It's almost campy, but it's not. Like, obviously, Lex Luthor in this movie is a really bad man. Like, he doesn't care about anybody. He doesn't care about killing people. But just their dynamic here when he's talking about Addis Ababa, and Otis is just like, are we going to Addis Ababa, Mr. Luthor? And Valerie Perrine is talking about the fashion. Also, interestingly enough, I was listening to this awesome podcast called Superman Movie Minute, and they break down these movies 5 minutes at a time, and they brought up an excellent point. How does Otis know what a Burnous is? Like, how does he know what a Burnous is? I always say Jawohl now too, because of this movie. Jawohl. I don't say it like he does. I say it like I don't know. Just a great interaction between all of them. There are so many interesting things in this movie, and I could take it scene by scene and break it down minute by minute, and that'd be fine. I could take a couple of hours and do a YouTube video. Maybe I'll do that one day. Comment down below if you'd like to see that. I always found that this scene, it's just like, it's heartbreaking. He's gotten there too late. And again, funnily enough, Superman Movie Minute, they comment on Lois's suit here. They call it the Saturday Night Fever suit. I always used to think that when I was a kid too. It was like, oh, she's got a Saturday Night Fever suit. But yeah, just the emotion that Christopher Reeve puts out. As a cosplayer, I'm like, dude, get away from the dirt. Your suit is getting dirty, and that's not okay. Just his delicate, I mean, the kiss is kind of weird. I'll give him that. But the delicate nature of which he handles her, it's beautiful. It's just like, and then we see some time pass, and, well, he's going to go change the world, isn't he? Oh, turn back time. Cue share music here. The emotion in the scene, though, the next one he screams, it always reminds me of that scene, that that's crazy. Like, that reminds me of, and now Doomsday gets his from the Death of Superman comic. Like, that intensity, just amazing. Of course, Jimmy has to come and ruin the moment. I'm just going to leave you here in the middle of the desert. Fine. Also, again, Superman Movie Minute brought this out to my attention. I was like, oh yeah, that's a good point. Like, she starts to put it together that Clark is never around when Superman is. But, like, she's only seen Superman twice, and in neither of the... I mean, who knows how much time has passed since that first interview, but in neither of those interactions, Clark would have been around anyway. At the interview, Clark wouldn't have been around. Clark wouldn't have been around in the middle of the desert. Like, so it's kind of a weird jump. When we get to Superman 2, it makes more sense because he's in Niagara Falls, but then it's like, why would you think that? Why would you think that Clark is never around when Superman is, when Clark wouldn't be around in these points? So, interesting.
Lex Luthor.
The man who said he would never wear a bald cap.
I hereby serve notice that these walls will shut up.
It's too bad we never see what happens to Miss Tessmacher. Obviously, she comes back in Superman 2, but I think in the extended cut we do see where Superman saves her. I don't know if it's in the extended cut or if it's in deleted scenes. And then we have the sign-off that we see in every movie. Superman 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we get that amazing Christopher Reeve smile that, like, nobody smiles like this guy. Not even me. It's just a great nod. It's like it breaks the fourth wall, but it also brings you into the universe. So there you have it. That was my kind of reaction to some of my favorite moments in Superman the movie. I hope you enjoyed that. Superman 2 will be coming soon. And please, again, let me know in the comments down below, what have some of your favorite moments been from Superman the movie? And make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, turn on the notifications bell. Follow me at Melbourne Superman on Instagram. And I really look forward to seeing you next time. So again, Superman 2 is coming soon. Thanks so much for watching. We'll catch you next time.